Well, Æthelflæd is the daughter of Alfred the Great and his firstborn child. So probably born about 870 and died in 918. So, she wasn't yet 50 when she died. And when she was a teenager, when she reached the marriageable age, as Alfred's biographer Asa says, so in her teens, she married a leading Mercian figure. So she's from Wessex and he's from Mercia. And these had been opposed kingdoms which had often been they'd had friendly relationships at times, but they'd fought wars with each other earlier in her century. But faced with the Viking threat, they'd often collaborated from the 860s onwards especially, and intermarriage was part of the collaboration. But she was an intriguing character in many ways, and although we see her as the daughter of Alfred the Great, she was also the descendant of the Mercian royal family. Her mother and her grandmother were leading Mercian women. Asa says her mother was from the ancient line of the Mercian kings. So she was in a unique position when she went to Mercia to live with her husband, in that she also had a Mercian background, and of course her life was spent in Mercia, and her husband may have been quite a bit older than her, as far as we can tell. And the staggering thing is that she reigned for 32 years in the Viking Age. It's almost unheard of. And obviously the first 24 were with her husband, but she'd really taken over the leadership in the last 10 years of her husband's life, whether he was suffering from wounds or illness. And then the last 8 she ruled on her own. And that's the period when the Mercian chronicle keeps referring to as the Lady of the Mercians, Hlafdir Merchna, the female lord. And that's what makes her so interesting. She's one of the most interesting female rulers in British history, really, because we have to understand by that the Mercian aristocracy in the middle of the Viking Age gave their allegiance to her as their lord, and looked to her for leadership in these terribly difficult times. But that's the amazing thing, is she's the female lord, and she takes on all the attributes and the allegiances that traditionally men had in the Anglo-Saxon world.